That's right. It's episode 14 of
USFAPN. Let's go.
Woo! Synchronized on that one. I felt good.
Yeah, it's like bring it on.
Bring it on, and brought it on in week 12. There were some big games, a dozen of them, or, at least weeks that have passed.
Where there were a dozen teams.
Yeah. Well, I think there's 5 games. So I think there's 10 teams.
10 teams.
10 teams.
There was a dozen donuts in the box that Jeff got this morning.
Yeah. And they were, they were good. But this is well as we have this
This
today.
is too short of a dozen in terms of number of teams that we're going to have seen play this past week.
But starting us off, we've got a big one coming down in New York on the Mafia taking on Huntington Beach. We had New York with the ball. It's first quarter, 9 minutes in.
Well, the Mafia got HBV. What's going to happen?
Oh, big safety by
Wow.
Phenom Chisholm.
Phenom Chisholm. What a great name. What a great play. Safety, my favorite way to get 2 points in the world, especially when compared to really the only other way to get it is 2 extra points. So,
Well,
gotta love the safety.
if you like that one, you might be impressed with the next one coming down.
Don't tell me it's another safety.
They're up by 2. Now they're up by
2
4.
safeties. I love safeties because when you hear it in the room, everybody goes, safety, and you're like, damn, did everybody just fart at the same time?
That's like a childhood joke.
It's also one of the best. Farts and poop jokes are timeless. If there's one thing that connects all humanity of all ages, for all times and eras, it's poop and fart jokes. It's the one thing that unites even the Neanderthals. And there was a touchdown.
Yeah. Well, that last safety by Blaze Henderson, this one was a JoJo Tidwell Jr. touchdown. Huntington Beach.
Huntington Beach shitting on the Mafia.
Shitting on the Mafia. But,
Man, tough year to be in the Mafia. Worse than Rico charges. They're getting blown out.
Getting blown out, they did. This one running down. We had Upton O'Good with the touchdown here.
Shout out to HPV for some reasonable color schemes on their uniforms. Mafia not looking that bad either. It's too bad that they had to play this game. If not, they would have looked a lot better. I will say Mafia, one of my favorite team names. I love the whole Mafia theme that they've got going on there. I'm an Italian myself. I'd love to see them win.
Yeah, I feel you, but it was just way too much from Huntington Beach with, this time, JoJo Tidwell Jr. again with the touchdown. And, finally, they were up 28, and from their own 30-yard line, this one, Upton O'Good, another touchdown.
Oh my gosh. Total blowout, 35-0. Mafia drop another one. All you youngins out there hoping to grow up and join the Mafia, you might want to think about a gang.
Gang plan, that's right. Put your gang plan together and apply it towards your competitive drive of sports. So, Huntington Beach gets win number 10 in the season, and Mafia continue to slide. That's how it was all summed up here in the first game. Then we went around Pittsburgh, starting it us off.
Speaking of shit jokes, Pittsburgh in the skid mark colored uniforms.
Oh,
that is a beautiful pass. It doesn't matter what you're wearing.
Yeah, you know who that is? Our star of the evening, Ryan Davis, coming on. Beautiful pass to start off this Pittsburgh drive.
Ryan Davis, 2 first names, probably a real namer. Good at catching touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. So, coming up then, we had Tampa Bay
with cheese.
Yeah, with the ball, and they got it to none other than Aaron Eliason with the touchdown.
Pounding his chest for that one.
Homie. Gonna make it 13-10.
Then coming up, we had this one going to Earl Flint with the touchdown.
I kind of like that Pittsburgh end zone graphic. It looks like the Pittsburgh skyline with Pittsburgh and cursive under it. What is the Pittsburgh mascot again?
And that's going to make it
The working man?
The roughneck.
The roughneck.
The first time that they'll go over 500 on the season.
It's been rough.
So a lot to
Well, yeah, it's been a rough game, but
we didn't talk too much
Tampa
about
Bay really looking
how
strong
good they
despite a
turned out.
record that
They've
isn't as
started
overwhelmingly
very
positive
good.
as
They
you
went
think.
out a little rocky.
They continue to
They
come
lose
out and
some games
perform.
they should've
In
won.
Pittsburgh, as maybe we'll see here,
This one.
oh,
I took it
Nope.
away from them.
got it taken away that one by B. Hoskins.
And I think Pittsburgh is really an underrated team for their record, but so is Tampa Bay.
It is true. But when it comes down to it, it's about impact. How do you measure it on the field?
All about impact and wins and losses.
And when you're in the opportunity zone, do you convert or not?
Going with the I formation here, and they are going to hand it off. Jason
That's-
Copel's
wow,
going to
not even
wrap
touched.
this one
Jason
up
Copel
for
with the touchdown.
Made him Copel those.
But it wasn't a shutout, for Pittsburgh, always still putting up points, taking it down. 32 seconds left. Look at this run-in beauty of a touchdown there by Mike Hawk.
Well, you love to see him play through the whistle to the end of the game, even though there was no chance that they were going to win there. Pittsburgh is a tough team to beat, but they've been beaten.
Yep. Absolutely. Pittsburgh officially eliminated from the playoffs. Tampa securing their first ever playoff berth in team history.
So, Paudy, let me ask you this. You're eliminated from the playoffs in the USFA. Do you continue to start your starters? They can't get injured. It's simulated sports.
Right.
But what's the point?
Well, it depends on I don't understand. I'm not fully educated yet, but one consideration is if you have the lowest record, is there some advantage in the upcoming season in the order of the drafting? Is that
tanking? How does the league look on tank? Is Pittsburgh tanking? They've got a good team. Is that what you're saying right now? Pittsburgh is tanking? You heard it first from Paudy. What a hot take.
No, I don't know if I put tank in, but they're not ranking up the necessary components. 3 and 9. To me, that means, 1/3.
Tanking, not ranking.
1/3 of the time they win, 2/3 of the times they lose. So
that sounds like math to me.
Yes, but moving on to our third game, this one coming in St. Louis is
now
the
here's
Royals.
the Royale with cheese.
Yes.
In your face. That's what the offensive player said.
See if we'll get a taste of one of my favorite running backs in the game, other than Alf Jacobson, Namey McNamerson, of course.
Oh, absolutely. Look at that.
Oh,
that was
he is
sick.
great running back, better dancer.
And St. Louis is going to make
Let's see
it
if they
a
look good.
two-score game.
Is there a
What
simulated
move there
Dancing
by
with the
Namey to
Stars?
get
Because
himself-
if there was, Namey.
Yeah, those
Be
were
there.
moves, man. All right, and it wasn't just Namey's first appearance. St. Louis up 10-0.
Looking for the handoff and easy
Emerson
money. Number
again in the
21
end zone.
from Dave
St.
Ford,
Louis
Namey
totally dominant,
Emerson.
as always. Charlotte, another team that I don't think is
Passing attack down.
as
And now
as
it's
bad
gonna
as
be
their record
4th and
implies.
8.
When you
What
play
a
St. Louis,
defensive
everybody looks
performance
bad.
here from St. Louis.
And they get back into it.
Looking for a man to throw it to.
Charlotte
And he's
throwing
gonna
deep.
launch this one to Vic. He's
Bomb.
by himself.
Tom
Not
Krieg.
you, not Vic.
Oh.
It's gonna be
Bulls
Tom
commissioner.
Krieg for the
If you didn't.
touchdown.
Well, if you didn't know, but other people.
I knew.
Okay.
Because
Charlotte at the
do the
very
research.
least
Oh, yeah.
avoid the shutout.
But great reception. So when they went
Showing support,
finally,
over
Charlotte
30,000 views.
coming down
They're still in it.
7-20, about 2 minutes on the clock, getting one to
Not close most of the game, but nice to see
Hi,
Charlotte
Coco.
show some life.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Yep. And that was basically St. Louis increases their chance of locking up the number 1 seed in the East. And Charlotte, the number 3 seed, can potentially move up to the number 2 seed.
It's frowned upon to tank or try to get the lowest record, but should it be frowned upon to try to get the highest record? If so, Charlotte or St. Louis, you're in our crosshairs.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to get the
Nice pass across
top
the
record.
middle.
You know,
I don't know.
speaking of, we got Tacoma versus Dallas. Dallas fighting here, and they're coming off,
4 and 7 teams going at it.
Gonna go pistol, quick pitch, and
They're a little
gonna
late
find
on
his
it.
man.
Oh, wow.
Quentin Robin with the touchdown.
Just got a seizure from looking at those uniforms.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Well,
Dubby,
hold
shout out
on to your
Paladin as well.
My
your
God, Coach
chair.
Carroll.
Anything
Yeah, there he is.
software-wise
So,
for your business, sign
then
a
we
contract
had
with them, you'll be
Tacoma with
directly
the
supporting
ball,
USFAPN.
down
Doing
310.
so, second and medium, looking
Stepping
for a man
back.
to throw it to as Bridges takes off to run.
Who gets him?
Chased
Oh,
down by Krim, and he's gonna
Andre
get
Krim.
the
Love to see a sack like that.
Crim Reaper pulls him
Big
in.
sack.
Getting
Yeah,
into
get friend of the pod, right?
third
Krim
and
Reaper?
13
Yeah,
right
absolutely.
now.
See one more. Okay.
A nice
Got it.
tippy
But,
toes there from Chris
then we
Banks.
had coming
Photo
in
shotgun.
Tacoma
Bridges, he says he
looking
wants to go
to
at this alone. He
respond
says he'll
and
find the right
earn
man,
their way
and
back
he
up to
does
Okay.
for the
310. That
Making a
is
game out of it.
Joe Beasley,
to close out quarter number 3. Throw your fours
Followed
up just
by,
because you love use one. Will we need more?
Dallas with the
We'll have to
ball,
see.
pretty
It's gonna be
close,
first and
getting
goal,
it
handoff to
Ulf
Ulf,
Jacobson
reaching
here,
out and
Yes.
pushing
Oh
through
my
some
God.
defenders. He
powering
does
his
not
way
care.
through.
Put him in the longboat with his non-concubines and burn it, baby. Ulf Jacobson, the Viking.
Yeah, the Viking, setting sail. On this sim, this working out real well for the team. We'll see more of him later. This one, though, going to, Jeezy himself, this one, James Peach. Yeah, from
Just got a camera on the peach on a license plate. James Peach.
And I looked it up, what the business is. Jeezy known to handle his.
Word on the street, Jeezy known to handle his.
Oh, yeah.
His referencing business. So thank you for clearing that up.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff, our lyrical
It could be
gene.
Dallas's game to win. As they set up
Right here, coming with Dallas.
Oh, you know what I want to see? Break out the long axe and cower behind your shield wall. Looking like a fullback.
Yeah, fullback, baby.
Yes, baby. I can hear the stadium.
What were those big Vikings called?
Berserkers?
Berserk.
I don't know. Is that what those-
Berserker.
Let's go. Go berserk on him, Ulf. Is that Ulf again?
Ulf again with the 2-point conversion.
Odin is pleased.
Odin is pleased.
Don't forget that the gameplay has been
And
modded
finally,
Let's go.
try to give more
Tacoma
aggressiveness down
18
the
to
field.
25. They've got a minute. They can, have a comeback here. Boom.
Wow.
This one, Jackson Storm with the interception, taking away that comeback.
Poor decision making. Defender clearly in front of the receiver. Did not need to force it there. Wasn't even throwing for a first down.
Yep. So that Dallas keeps their chances of the playoff action alive, albeit on the razor's edge, but it's still an opportunity for them to continue to potentially advance. And Tacoma gets officially eliminated from the playoffs.
All right, Tacoma.
All right. Well, in our final game, we went to Arizona.
Oh, my Snow Devils.
With the Snow Devils coming in. And speaking of snow, let's see how it went down with Arizona here. First, play 0-0. And there we go. Big Snow setting in that touchdown.
Oh, he's wiggling his hips. And I got to say, shout out to Arizona. The graphic on their end zone looks perfectly pixelated for scale. Is not backwards. Reads the right way. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
If not the color scheme, the format.
Yeah, absolutely. Respect to that. And Arizona,
I kind of like the black and purple, actually, now that we're talking about it.
Arizona, this one going to Sean McGowan. Touchdown.
And the purple uniforms. Wow, they've been practicing.
Synchronized that one, right? And Anchorage, though, down 3-14, still, competitive here. Pitching one down to Cool Beans.
Cooling things down in that Arizona heat. Heard that it had record-setting temperatures in Arizona this week, Audie.
Oh, interesting. Well,
not sure if that impacted the simulated sports world as well, but
it was probably from all that money I'll be burning. This one coming up, burning it down. Check this one out. This is about a competition. So look at that. That was Money Mills.
Wow.
Running. Almost getting there. Check this one out.
The Millstone himself.
Mills himself. Mills running. Holding. Running. Almost there.
Is that it in?
Gets it. Almost gets it, but To be
Okay.
continued.
Let's talk about Anchorage.
Then we had.
Couldn't convert there. Tough to see. Was
that
that a fourth down?
Game, it'll be at home. If
Yeah.
it was
And
to
it wasn't, and
continue on
Anchorage
keep
had the
winning.
ball. They were still,
But
you
look
know,
for a man to
a
throw
score
to,
away,
takes
and
off
then
to run as Dave
oh,
Jones trying to get away. Looking
that's
for a man to
it.
throw to.
Oh,
It runs out of
almost
time.
escaped. That was
Take it safely, big homie,
Eisenhower.
that's Eisenhower for the
Put all the
sack.
balls in the sack.
And that is going to be a punt
all
for
of
him.
them.
Gonna look again.
Cool,
Try to
cool
get
tables.
Oh no!
picked up by Arizona.
Anchorage.
And gonna
I'd
be
love to see a
taken
great
to the
defensive
10,
play like that.
dragged down and reaching out.
But not
Number
against
9 is
my-
gonna get it.
No doubles.
My buddies, my Devils.
Yeah, the Devils. Well, that was Thompson with the fumble recovery and touchdown.
Arizona pulling away. Just as hard as it is to go playing cold weather from hot weather, it's hard to go from cold weather to hot.
Check this one out.
Money Mills,
Talk
the
about
pockets
commitment,
collapsing. He's got
determination.
a little room now to take off to run 3rd and goal, and they
Money
just
Mills
left him wide open.
finally gets that
Oh,
running touchdown.
And they did invert the spelling on the other end zone side, which is tough to see, but doesn't detract from Money Mills' performance.
Yeah, so sick. Finally got it through. Anchorage in a bind as they have to keep fighting to make the playoffs. Arizona secures the home playoff game with this victory.
So I'm willing to bet 12 Bitcoins out of the 66 Ethereum you owe me at the price win bet that Anchorage is going to make the playoffs.
If I win, do I get what do I get?
If you win, we'll erase 12 Bitcoins worth of debt at their current price
Okay.
against the 66.6 Ethereum worth of debt that you owe me from its COVID high price,
Okay.
which I think will still be impactful. I have
Okay.
to do the math.
Okay.
But if you lose, just another, we're just stacking it on. So I'll expect to be paid in Ethereum at the current price of Bitcoin.
Okay. That sounds fair. Those
Okay.
logistics work for me.
Let's go, Snow Devils.
Let's go Dallas, baby. Because that's the way that the
Dallas plays the Snow Devils next game.
here are the Eastern Conferences. You can see that 5 teams have been locked in. You've got the St. Louis can win the number 1 or number 2 seed in the East, more likely the number 1 seed. You've got Tampa Bay can win the number 1 or number 2 seed in the East, more likely the number 2 seed. And then we've got Charlotte can win the number 2 or number 3 seed, more likely the number 3 seed. We've also got 2 more teams in the different conference. But you can see here that the Pittsburgh and the Mafia have been eliminated from the playoffs.
Really competitive Eastern Conference here. A lot of parity.
Yes. So coming over to the Western Conference, you can see Huntington Beach has locked in a playoff bid, as well as the Rattlers. The 2 teams that are battling it out are the Anchorage Snow Devils with a 6-6 record and the Dallas Dragons with a 5-7 record. So
But the Rattlers can't be complacent. They lose 2 games. Anchorage goes on a winning streak. They might be out. I will say, as fearful as I am of Ulf Jacobson, I'm betting my Bitcoin on the Snow Devils.
All right. Well, we'll see how this pans out in an upcoming. Oh, and also Tacoma is eliminated. So moving along to our interview with Ryan Davis. And welcome here to the USFAPN show. Ryan Davis, how you doing tonight?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing awesome. How about you, Rye?
You started off by asking that, but nice job, Jeff. Ryan, let us ask you, how did you hear about the USFA? Who's your player and what's your role?
Honestly, I kind of just fell into finding it. I was just searching different sim leagues. I honestly don't even remember how I actually found it. I think it was a collab on a different league, like someone just promoting it. But my player's on Pittsburgh, a receiver, and his name is also Ryan Davis.
And how did you come up with your player's name?
Honestly, I see everyone kind of like choosing different player names, but I usually just stick with my own name unless I'm making 2 players, and then I'll kind of figure it out from there.
That definitely protects you from identity theft. Would you like to share your social security number?
I would not like to do that, but you guys have my name, so you only need to find one more thing.
Well, we have the name, but like, who is the man behind the name? Like, who are you?
Honestly, I love football. I pretty much just found out about sim leagues. Played football my entire life. I live in LA. Uh, with my wife, we have a new baby and 2 dogs. So,
Congrats.
pretty simple man.
And so, what was your previous background playing football? How long did you play? What was your position?
So, I started Little League in 6th grade, um, and I played all the way through 1 year in college. Uh, I played running back for the most part, but
Oh,
mostly um, in and out of running back and slot receiver.
very cool.
Hmm.
Do, do you play in any other simulated leagues?
I do. So I'm in the SFL. I'm in a league called the World Football Alliance, and then I'm an owner in an Access League and the ECFL.
An unaccess league, like a Dave Access League?
No, so it's like Access Football.
Oh,
So
okay.
what USFA used to play on.
Oh,
I'm in like a separate league that I'm the owner of.
okay.
And what makes the USFA special compared to the other leagues you've been a part of?
Honestly, I think I personally like that it's not new, but it feels on the newer side because of all the partnerships coming up. Um, because they have the new partnership with the ECFL. So I think it's gonna start booming a lot more than it already is. Um, and I like the people. Stacks has been helping me from the beginning. And like SFL, that's like a close knit group. So if you're not really in it, like some people try to help you, but it's not. It's like it's too saturated, in my opinion.
Hmm. So you feel there's like enduring like relationships you're building here that like, yeah, that are
For
based
sure.
on support and like meaningful. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
And
Um,
the gameplay. I mean,
yeah.
it's fun to watch. So
Well, as you watch like the future ahead, like where do you see the league in 5 years from now?
I see it becoming pretty massive, and I know there's 2 expansion teams coming, but I personally think in a few years they're going to have to add another one with how many people go through the ECFL. And then once people start coming in and seeing how great it is over here, I think they're all going to start staying. So I think it's going to start becoming really big.
What's your most memorable moment in all simulated sports you've been a part of? Being drafted, getting a team that you own, or winning a championship?
So I haven't had the chance to win a championship. I've only been in sim leagues since April, like beginning of April. So I'm still fairly new. Being drafted in SFL was pretty awesome, just because it was the first league I was in, and I was not expecting to get drafted so early. Um, but honestly, just scoring touchdowns is pretty much all that excites me.
And so for the USFA, we're going into the championship or we're going into the playoffs in the next week or two. Who is your money on to win the whole thing?
I know a lot of people are always talking about St. Louis because I know they won last year. Um, I personally think Arizona has a good shot, um, and then Huntington Beach, I think, has been playing really well. So I would say Huntington Beach or Arizona.
Hmm.
Do you own any team swag for any of your simulated leagues that you're in?
So I did get really hyped up for when I got drafted. So I do have a Sioux Falls jersey.
Okay.
Were you rocking it when you got drafted?
No, so it was kind of a weird situation, but I was talking to another team the most. So
Oh,
I was expecting them to draft me, and Sioux Falls kind of came in at the last minute and started talking to me. So I wasn't even expecting. Sioux Falls wasn't really on my radar.
An underrated, seductive town, Sioux Falls. I've been there in real life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, me and my wife have thought about going to like check out South Dakota, but we just haven't done it yet.
There's not too much to check out, but the stuff there is to check out goes on for miles.
Yeah, exactly.
Badlands.
Well, do you have any shout outs you'd like to make to people in the league or like across your simulated connections?
I already shouted out Stacks. Caboose has always been great. I don't know his actual name, but the Pittsburgh owner, the white man, I believe is his thing or something like that. He's been great the whole time. And then shout out to you guys for hooking this up.
Oh, well, damn. Thanks so much, Ryan. It's been great having you on. Hope you have a great evening, and we look forward to having you on again in the future.
Anytime you guys need it, we'll figure something out.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
All right, this is Rye Hoglaw. That's Potty. Shout out to Ryan Davis. Great interview there. We'll see you next week on the USFAPN. Let's go podcast.
Woo!